Ooh.
Mike, matter of fact, how does Mike sound today?
You sound good, man.
Yeah. There we go. We rolling.
We here.
Welcome. Monday, March 21st, 2022, man. We are back. March Madness is in full effect. NFL, NBA, NCAA. I'm one half of the pod, Darius Butler. Got my co-host, Antoine Bethea.
What's good?
Look like you're on the road, shaking and moving.
I'm
Oh,
doing a
man.
little something.
Man, how was your weekend, man?
Weekend was good, man. Weekend was good. Out here in Vegas, man. I get on a flight later on today, but me and my guy, man, came out here. Me and Big Cheese, matter of fact. The
Okay.
crew know Big Cheese. We came out here,
Yeah.
man, just chill, man. Watch the games, man, and just relax, man. So
It was some good games this weekend, man. What was your
great
favorite game
games.
from the tourney?
North Carolina. It was what you mean? What you
I
mean?
forgot. My
It
bad. I
was a
forgot. I
hey, it
thought you
was
was
a
gonna
no
say Howard women.
nah, I was happy about that too. We got our first since you throwing shots, we got our first win
Hey, we
in
lost
program
too.
history. 20
We
some
lost
years,
too.
but that South Carolina team, we knew that was gonna be a big test, man. That was gonna be a huge test for us. But shout out to Howard women, baby.
Yeah, shout out to Howard women. But that's South Carolina, like you said, that's a buzz saw right now. They ran through Miami as well.
Yeah.
Their defense is crazy that Don Staley got out there. But yeah, my UConn, my Huskies lost. You was talking a little shit last week when you saw the 5-12 matchup.
Yeah, them
Ain't go too well.
5-12s always a little tricky.
Yep.
Always.
Yeah, ain't go too well, man. But had some good moments this weekend from the tourney. Great moments.
Yeah.
But we'll talk about it. I forgot we got the intro. A lot to get into. What else we got? Any other news in the NFL?
Man, a lot of news in the NFL, man. Obviously we're gonna talk about this Deshaun Watson, man. We got Randy Gregory. Man, we
You out
got
there in Vegas?
out there in Vegas, yeah.
Devontae Adams.
Devontae Adams, huge move. So we got a lot to talk about and a lot to touch on.
Yeah, man. Looking forward to hearing from y'all too. Oh, as always, keep the conversation going on the socials. Hashtag M2M Live. But yeah, like AB said, a whole lot to talk about. We're gonna get right into it right after the intro. Yo.
Yeah, we back.
We back. What we go? We'll get to the Deshaun stuff after. I guess we can jump into tourney first. But so your favorite moments, UNC. Who did that beat again? But in the Sweet
Who?
16.
Damn, who was we playing?
But let me see if we got this. No, we don't have it.
But
I
that
know we
game,
had
that game had me on the ropes, man. We was up 25.
Baylor. One
Baylor,
seed
yeah,
Baylor, who I had in the Final Four.
Up 25.
Start pissing down their leg.
Star player gets ejected. Have some guys, foul out the game. And we couldn't inbound the ball.
Well, that full court press on.
two things you learn from, I think, high school, I guess, when you really start pressing, is learning how to beat the press. And when the team is trapping, do not go to the corners. That was, man. It was scary for me, man. I thought we was about to blow the bag, man.
Hey, it got ugly down the stretch, and that full court press, boy. Like you said, picking that ball up, going to the corners, getting trapped. They went to OT, then they end up pulling it out. But yeah, it definitely got scary. That was so my final four had Baylor,
Out of there,
UConn,
out of there,
Auburn.
out of there.
It just got smoked. That was a good game last night. From Miami at least, wire to wire, they held it down, and then Villanova. Was my final four. That shit got ugly quick for me. Another good game, that Gonzaga Memphis game. I thought Memphis was gonna pull an upset.
Yeah.
But late down the stretch, Gonzaga was pushing here. They were pushing the pace. Felt like Penny got Imani was taking some tough shots. Started taking two tougher shots, man. I wanted Memphis to pull that off, even though I had Gonzaga. Gonzaga left Arizona. They beat TCU. That was a crazy game. Did you see that last second when old boy tried to
dunk it? Court awareness.
I know you was in there. Come on, man. Shoot the finger roll. Shoot the floater.
Man, court awareness. But great game. Great games. I think, and I love this time of year, man, because, again, you have the seedings, 1 seed, 16 seed, 5, 12, whatever the case may be. But it's a time where, you don't see these teams. The matchups, you don't regularly see these matchups throughout the year. They're coming from different conferences, man. And now, everybody's on the same stage. And it's about that, who's playing better on this day, and about matchups. You can have a team that's coming from a smaller conference, but they could potentially match up really well against a bigger school, man. And you see that year in and year out, man.
St. Peter's,
man. Boys is balling. Sweet 16 from New Jersey. And I love it. And I love it. They go out there and they expect to win, man. So I love this time of year.
This year's Cinderella is looking like beat Kentucky, the 2-seeded in Kentucky. That was a 2-15 matchup, and then went on to beat Murray State. But like you said, man, this time of year it's special, and we in the Sweet 16. 0 perfect brackets left. How many of your Final Four teams left?
I didn't even do my Final Four, but UNC still left, so that's all that matters in this conversation.
Yeah, my team that I'm riding with for the rest of the way, I'm gonna go to UM. Go with my home mob. I like their squad. I like that point guard they went and got. Them boys fast. They up and down that court.
Another one of my teams, I said that was going to be a sleeper that's still in there is Arkansas. Arkansas still in there, so we gonna see.
Yeah, okay. Somebody, Jeremy got Gonzaga versus Arizona and Chip. Yeah, the U. Coach K still in it.
Yeah.
Oh boy, Blancho 5. He came into this year. They were saying gonna be the first or second pick. He's kind of falling down to that 5th, 6th pick now. At least what the experts say. But he was playing well yesterday. Him and 15 kind of set the tone for Coach K. Whenever he pushed that pace, he gets to his spots. Big 6'9", 6'10", 250. Paul, come on, man. Paul. It's my basketball here, but it's a good basketball, man. It's a good basketball being played on the men's and the women's side. Matter of fact, we had a nice dunk
on the women's side
from Stanford. Me.
Put that out there.
Yeah. Give it block.
Got a block
to the. He.
Yeah.
I like it, man.
She talked about that often.
Facts. I think you'll see her do it every pregame too. But let me check out my women's bracket real quick. Check Caitlin Clark got put out didn't get a shot up late. Let me see this bracket, man. Let me see where we at. We got South Carolina, UNC. They play today. UNC, Arizona play today. Iowa State beat Georgia. Creighton over Iowa. That's the 2-10 matchup. Louisville take care of business. Where my UConn girls at, man? We got UCF today, 9 o'clock tonight.
UCF.
Texas, Utah, LSU, OSU. March Madness, man.
You gotta love it. Somebody just
Gotta love
mentioned
it.
in the comments about Juwan Howard. Michigan and them coming out with a big win, and obviously it's going across the net. Juwan Howard
Yeah.
consoling one of the opposing team players. He was saying, man, keep that same energy. He obviously he had a little brush on the sideline, and it sat him down for a little bit, man. But it's good to see that. Good to see C Webbs, some members of the Fab Five in the stands, man. In the locker room, so that was good to see.
Yeah, that's matter of fact, we got the Juwan Howard, C Webb. Another member of the Fab Five right there. We had Jalen Rose on the sideline as well. But yeah, like you said, we talked about obviously Juwan Howard's. Can't judge a guy in his worst moments. Had a bad moment, lost his cool as a head coach, set him down for a little bit. But now them boys going to the Sweet 16.
Sweet 16.
Especially for us old heads, knowing what a lot of, the Fab Five in Michigan and everything that they kind of been through for decades now. See Webb in that locker room post game, see Jalen Rose on the sideline post game. That was real dope to see for me.
Yeah, no doubt.
Probably my favorite moment so far from March Madness. Hold on, so here's the matchups on the men's side. Thursday and Friday.
Man,
I can't see. Let me just run through them real quick. Gonzaga versus Arkansas, Villanova, Michigan. Duke versus Texas Tech. Texas Tech was a sleeper for a lot of people too. Arizona versus Houston. Purdue versus St. Peter's. Oh, at Purdue. Kansas versus Providence. UCLA versus North Carolina. Two programs with a lot of history. Then number 10, Miami and Iowa State. So a lot of good basketball left, man.
Yeah.
A lot of good basketball. What you want to get into, man? This football stuff. What you want to start off with?
Well, one thing I want to touch on. I don't think we made a banner for it, but it's been a lot of talk in the swimming world.
Oh man. Oh.
Yeah. Woo! So just want to get your opinion. Woo! I think I know where you stand.
You gonna ask me about that? Or are you trying to?
So obviously
trying to get me canceled.
We've been talking about it. It's been a lot going on in the news and just where we at now, just as in this world. And it's a topic that a lot of people don't want to touch on, but I would say a person that was born a man and now identifies as a woman competing in women's sports. And I'm all for, being, who you feel comfortable with, how you present yourself or whatever the case may be. But in this case, young woman that was born a man in the pool swimming with women wins. How you feel about that?
Look here, it's all I'm gonna say on this. So it's a process for the sports, I guess. I think a year plus of testosterone treatment. And I don't know enough about the topic, but what I will say that she was 462 as a man, and now the number one swimmer in the women's game. I don't think it's fair, but I ain't gonna get too deep into this. I ain't a swimmer, so I'm gonna stay out of the water. I can swim, but I'm gonna stay out of these waters.
I respect it.
But yeah, that's everybody gonna have their own opinion on that. But we were talking about March Madness earlier. Men's tourney, women's tourney. It's March Madness, but gonna get on to this football stuff. Well, shit. I mean, this some deep waters too, though. Deshaun Watson.
But that's what I'm saying, man. I understand like a lot of things are in deep waters, man. You got to have these uncomfortable conversations, man.
Yeah,
But
we got you got to hit Acho up for that. Had some had some uncomfortable conversations with a black man, but nah. But yeah, that's a that's a touchy situation. But like you said, everybody's entitled to be who they are, who they feel comfortable with. And I think those are two separate conversations as well. But back to football. Huge news in the sports world. Deshaun Watson, over the last week or so, ever since he went to court and they didn't file criminal charges, that's when all the teams really came out, put their best offers to get him. He was meeting with teams. I believe he met with the Falcons, Panthers, Saints. Falcons, Panthers, Saints. Who else was it? Obviously, Browns.
Atlanta.
Might have been one other team I'm missing. But most teams, put in their bid essentially to get the services of Deshaun once those criminal charges weren't filed. Still 22 civil cases out there that's going to play itself out in the judicial system. But he told the Browns, matter of fact, because the news broke when we were on Thursday. And then after that, I think Friday, he told the Browns they were out of the runnings. And then he kind of reversed and decided to go back to the Browns. But we were both saying, like, hey, that was probably the best situation for him as far as if they wanted to go make a Super Bowl run, see him and Burrow twice a year, see Jackson twice a year. And he about faced and went back to the Browns, man. What you think about first from the football standpoint, and we'll get to the off the field stuff.
I mean, football standpoint, like you said, this was one of the teams that we felt, if he wanted to make a run, this is the team that he could go to along with the Saints. I thought, So with him going to Cleveland, Amari Cooper, with them signing Amari Cooper, the guys that they have in the backfield, along with the defense that they have, I think when you add Deshaun Watson on as a quarterback, that Cleveland Browns team is the team that you gotta worry about. It's one of the games you circle on your schedule. Like it's just going to be a game. So like you said, on the football side, and then as far as the contract that he got, the money that he got, broke the bank. I don't think anybody was expecting this 5-year deal, fully guaranteed contract.
5 years, $230 million.
Nobody expected that,
man. And Aaron Rodgers just signed for $150 last week, and that was the most. So he jumped that by $80 million guaranteed. I want to say the most amongst like NBA, NFL, probably not MLB, but Lamar Jackson, you need to have that agent on line one, brother. But
hey.
Go ahead.
But nah, man. But like you said, on the football side, man, a great move. It's a lot of talks now, just as far as Cleveland Browns, and I know they're getting a lot of backlash, but shit, to keep it a buck, it won't only the Cleveland Browns. You know what I'm saying? It was a lot more other teams that put their names in the hat. You know what I mean? And I think this was one of the reasons why he was able to get this big deal.
I want the Browns had to call. He had, or David or something. Browns had to call him back and be like, "Hey, you sure we out of running? We'll give you whatever you want, man."
Basically, that's what they said.
What's your number?
Man?
What's your number?
Bro? What's your
5 years? All right, 5 years. So now that they get the 5 years, $230 million guaranteed, which is obviously unprecedented NFL record. This year, because like Zeke, when Zeke was going through his thing with the Cowboys, he didn't have any criminal charges filed against him. Not saying they're the same situation at all, but just in this comparison, didn't have any criminal charges filed against him. But I think he lost civil court or whatever, so they still suspended him 6 games, I believe. So a lot of people expect Watson to get some form of suspension going into this next season. They signed Jacoby Brissett as well. My former teammate spoke to him over the weekend, so signed him to be his backup quarterback. I expect him to probably get a 4 to 6 game suspension, possibly could have no suspension. But Another page of this contract. First year's base salary is only going to be $1 million. So if in the event that he is suspended, he'll only be fined from that $1 million base salary, similar to what Brady did back when he dealt with his suspension. So obviously, from the football standpoint, Deshaun Watson to the Browns, I felt like was the best match out there. Saints would have been a good one as well, but I think this Browns, we talked about it, what they have defensively, the O line, the run game. You got Amari Cooper there. Hopefully, you get some more weapons offensively. Football knocked out of the park for the Browns. Huge move for them. Now off the field, and I think this is where it gets great, because you do have 22 women who have accused him of something and is still playing out in civil court. And for me, it's innocent till proven guilty. That's just how you follow it, how things are going from the outside looking in. But I wasn't there. None of us were. We don't know exactly what happened, and because this amount of people have made these accusations doesn't make it necessarily true, and obviously it doesn't make Deshaun innocent either, since he went to criminal court and they didn't file anything against him. So from my standpoint, I just got to sit back and let the facts of the court system play itself out. For me, I'm gonna just talk about it from the football standpoint for the most part, because I can't just jump to that judgment or any conclusions. Because I know for me, I've seen people accused of a lot of things, and I've seen it go both ways. So, how you feel about that, though?
Now I'm with you, bro. It's a tough situation, and you having daughters, I have a daughter, but again, like you said, it's innocent until proven guilty. And it's tough for me because it's 22, right? So it's like, well, damn, like, where's smoke? Is it fire? You know what I'm saying? But again, like you said, man, you gotta let that play it out on its own. You gotta let the people that get paid the big bucks do the investigation. You gotta let them do what they're hired to do. They took it to court, found innocent in court. So for us, like I said, we don't have the facts. We weren't there. But again, it is a tough topic to talk about. And then when you just talk about the league, we say it on here all the time. The league's about their bottom dollar. It's unfortunate that it's always about that. It's always about the green, but the crazy world we live in.
That's what it is in big business, and they're consistent with that. A lot of people are looking at, like you said, a lot of teams that threw their hat in that ring. A lot of people are looking at the Browns or the owners, because the owners put out some statements. People looking at the NFL, but we know what it's about at the end of the day. And once again, just to be clear, and like you said, smoke can be fire. The number of accusations for me, I try not to let that sway me or push me into a direction. All right, it's that many, got to be, because and I had this conversation actually with a young lady over the weekend, and she was like, "Man, you got to know, it's a lot of people that would do anything for a headline or a dollar, and then it's a lot of people who could be telling the truth, but just because it's that big number doesn't necessarily make it true." And like I said, don't make him innocent either, because it was odd for me that you even have that many people, give massages. But
yeah,
to each their own. That can't say that can't make him guilty either. So it's gonna play out. It's gonna play itself out in the court, and then we'll see him. We'll see him playing next year. We'll see him playing football next year. And that AFC is stacked, man. You got in the AFC West. We already talked about Broncos, Raiders. Yeah, all those guys got quarterbacks. AFC North now, all those guys got quarterbacks.
Yeah.
Steelers, Trubisky. But I mean, that AFC is gonna be wild. Another somebody that went from the NFC to the AFC, Devontae Adams.
Yeah.
Getting traded from the Packers to the Raiders, and he signed, what was his deal? For the 5 years? 5 years, 141, something like that. But he broke the record for receiver, making
For
28 a
receiving.
year.
Yeah.
Well, what was your initial reaction when you heard that?
I was shocked. I was shocked because for some reason, man, I just thought that, with A-Rod coming back,
Mm-hmm.
damn near kind of solidified that, they was gonna find some type of way where they can work out where Devontae Adams was coming back. Um, we talked about on this show how he was like, I am not playing on the franchise tag this year. But somehow, some way, I figured you bring A-Rod back, you got probably one of the best receivers in your building.
Mm-hmm.
You don't let that guy get out of there. You find a way to make this work. And when I heard he was going out there, or coming out here to Las Vegas to team up with his college quarterback, I was shocked. And I'm like, hey, the Raiders are making moves to position themselves to
Yeah.
be at the top of the AFC. Not even the AFC, the top of the league, just with, the moves that they're making with bringing Chandler in. You got Devontae Adams now, Derek Carr. I like Derek Carr as a quarterback. You got a good run game. They're making some real solid moves, man, to position themselves in one of them the top teams in the league.
Yeah, I mean, it's been all our arms race in that division. Obviously, Chargers went out, got Khalil Mack, J.C. Jackson. Well, I'm still upset didn't reset that cornerback market. I think that undrafted free agent thing kind of held him back in that regard, but got his money. Khalil Mack, who else? Broncos got Randy Gregory.
We'll talk about that soon.
Yeah, Russell Wilson. Then, like you said, the Raiders went and got Chan.
Sure, then you got to talk about the Chiefs. They got Juju.
Too. Chiefs went and got Juju, which gives them
TikTok.
So him and Jackson Mahomes about to be
TikTok about to be crazy.
Damn, that's gonna be crazy, insufferable. But Juju's a good pickup for them. I think that's a real good pickup for them because a lot of people talk about the Chiefs and last year, playing everything top down, keeping Ty Hill in front of you. Kelsey gonna get his work underneath, but now you got another guy, Juju, who can win those matchups against, second, third cover guy, reliable, a tough guy in between those numbers. So I think that's gonna be a big pickup for Mahomes. So that whole conference, man. They got Rocky Sin, a corner from the Colts in that Ndakwe trade, which we picked up, which that's been our biggest move so far over there with the Colts. But it's gonna be interesting. I hope every one of those games on prime time.
And I'm not gonna just step over the fact that my Cincinnati Bengals, man, they've been making some moves, man, out there. I think, they done went out there and got 3 proven offensive linemen to help keep Joe Burrow standing upright and not running around for his life. And hey,
and he got to a Super Bowl running around for his life, which is
so this could, and this is something that we talked about. Like, one thing that the Cincinnati Bengals needed to focus on this offseason, whether you do it in free agency or through the draft, shore up that O-line. You got one of the top quarterbacks in the league. Got a good running game. Just shore up that O-line, and they've gone out and done that. So kudos, man, to that front office, man, getting them people in the building.
Yeah, you picked them as your coach of the year, front office of the year, because last offseason, rookie last offseason they knocked it out of the park. Went got Trey Hendrickson from the Saints, Mike Hilton, and now in the O-line got La'el Collins, signed him from the Cowboys, Ted Karras and Alex Kappa, all on the O-line doing free agency. Still got the draft coming up where you can draft O-linemen in the first 3-4 rounds, and these guys coming to start immediately. So had to address that. That was probably the reason they end up losing the Super Bowl, even though they got there. But Aaron Donald Does that to everybody. But shout out to the Bengals, man. Your Cincinnati Bengals, one of your mobs.
Hey, you heard it right. You heard it right.
Getting better, man. So like I said, that AFC, man, it's gonna be really, really, really interesting this season. And we kind of just touched on it. The Randy Gregory situation. There's been a couple situations this offseason where someone has agreed to terms with one team, and then you refresh your Twitter feed and they signed with somebody else. So this situation happened with Randy Gregory. Had basically the same deal with the Cowboys on the table, and then end up switching up and signing with the Denver Broncos. He's been going at it with people on Twitter and say, hey, your opinion don't pay my bills and this, that, the third. The reason was some of the language in the contract was where if he got fined or something like that for behavior, some shit like that, failed a drug test, whatever, a lot of that money would be void, null and void. We know with Randy Gregory's past that, he wouldn't want that. An agent wouldn't want that. So what was your thoughts on this situation, this move?
I mean, I'm with him.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? If I got a team that's giving me the same amount of money, but stipulations are different, whereas you could potentially take my money away regardless of what it's about. I mean, I'm with him. Again, people on the outside like, well, if you do what you're supposed to do, you don't have to worry about that. Hey, life happens sometimes. Like we don't know what's gonna happen tomorrow or next week.
Facts.
So I'm not gonna talk about that. So I mean,
and some shit. Sometimes you could not have done anything, and you end up in the wrong place, wrong time. Somebody accused you of something, or something happened, and now the team has that right to So yeah,
exactly.
I'm with you 1,000%.
1,000%. I'm with him. Again, this is the business. I say it here all the time. The business of Darius Butler, the business of Antoine Bethea. This is business of Randy Gregory, and he did what was best for his business, not for somebody else's business. And I don't understand. I don't understand why people get so upset about that. Like that. The other Dallas Cowboys, there's a big time business, right? And they write these contracts for
biggest brand in sports.
Exactly, they write these contracts for a reason. Where like you say, if you slip up, hey, we're gonna take some of that money back. So yeah, man, business of Randy Gregory, man. I think you did the right thing in this case, man. And fans, you can't get mad at a person protecting their business.
It's protecting their
best for their business.
Facts, big facts. Now, so Randy Gregory, we talked about his past, some issues he's had over his first few years with the Cowboys. A lot of people saying Jerry Jones had your back, man. He did this, he did that for you when a lot of people would have turned it back or cut you or whatever. How do you feel about that layer to it?
Hey, you did. You had my back, and I appreciate you for that. But you can't hold that against me for the rest of my life. You gave me that opportunity, and I thank you for that. I will always be grateful for you giving me an opportunity that potentially nobody else would have. So, but in turn, I got to do whatever from here on out. That's not how this works. Because again, like, well, shoot, hey, at the end of the day, you had my back. I appreciate you. We gonna keep it moving.
And let's not get it twisted. Jerry Jones had his back, because he was a hellified pass rusher. He was a hellified player. So, as we spoke about plenty times in this show, the greater your talent, the more they can let you get away with, off the field. And sometimes some teams, some organizations, some coaches, owners, whatever, do go above and beyond for certain players. And like you said, that is well appreciated. But at the same time, still got to do what's best for the business of Randy Gregory and your family, because it's a short window, a short time span. Where as players, you got the chance to maximize your earnings. The Dallas Cowboys is going to be around for a long, long time. The most valuable sports brands in the world. And when Jerry Jones is gone, Stephen Jones will take over. And when Stephen Jones is gone, somebody else is going to take over. But it's going to be a family business for a long time. Who knows where, the next generation of Gregory's are. But now, with this money guaranteed, they should be in a much better
Better
place.
place, no doubt, no doubt.
Speaking about the business and the ugly side of this game, which we've seen, the ugly side of this game. Young boy in Michigan at his pro day, David Ajobo tore his Achilles at the Michigan Pro Day, and this is Adam Schefter's tweet. Test confirmed that David Ajobo tore his Achilles per Michigan source. Doctors expect a full and complete recovery. Rams running back Cam Akers tore his Achilles last summer and was back about 6 months later, and doctors expect Ajobo to be on the same timeline. Now, what I'll say about that is I wouldn't even put that. I don't even know why they put that timeline. Yeah, I wouldn't put that.
Yeah.
That say I know you going into the draft and you wanted to make it, look like he'll be back as soon as possible. But we've seen a lot of Achilles injuries, and they differ, between athletes. And that Cam Akers shit was some shit I had never seen before, ever,
Right.
on any level. So I wouldn't put him up against that timeline. But we saw the optics from that at the pro day. What was your reaction to that? Even though I'm sure you've seen that plenty of times.
I would say initially, and whoever the guy was that was running the drills, I think that's because I ended up seeing another video and people did come out to assist. Now, for me, it took a little long, where it was one guy or whatever the case,
Yeah.
one player that was going through the drills. I thought people would have ran out there a little sooner. But the guy who was running the drills, he just seemed like whatever, like, you know what I'm saying, on to the next one. And I hated to see that, because at the end of the day, what I mean, I know it's part of the business, or this is part of the business as far as pro days, where we going out there and we looking at guys, but we all human. We never want to see, especially a young man that's looking to
make that step,
a lifelong dream. And to see him get hurt at this junction, man, I would have loved to see whoever was running the drills, whatever his name was, go over there to make sure he was okay before trainers or whatever could come out and assist him. But again, man, prayer. I hope he's able to get back sooner than later. But as a young player, man, I hope they don't rush him back.
That's why I don't even want to put that same Cam Akers timeline on. He got hopefully a long NFL. He's a hell of a player too, so hopefully a long NFL career in front of him. So take your time, cross every T, dot every I with this type of injury. Now it's better to have. You never want to have an Achilles injury, but it's better to have it. Coming out of. I know it's bad timing going into the draft, but at this age, rather than 28, 29, where it could be a potential career ender. So definitely praying for a speedy recovery. And like you said, you want to see more empathy, just the human side of it. We know what it is from the football side, and that's kind of, I guess, the culture, of sports, and especially football, because we've seen guys get hurt in practice, maybe rolling over, thriving in pain, and depending on who the player is, we always talk about, everybody get treated fairly, but not the same. It's a starting, it's a big time guy out there on the ground. Everything stop, everything gets silent, everybody go over. But if it's, a practice squad player, maybe a guy, on the bottom third of the roster, Riverside. Hey, Riverside, for y'all that don't know, it's basically flipping the drill. You going to four, you going that way, somebody get hurt, hey, Riverside, boom. And then and part of that is, you letting the medical staff get to the player and the professionals do what they do. And so it's smart, but, I always wanted to see a little more empathy with teammates, coach. I done got into it with coach over there, like, hey, man, come on, get up. Hey, coach, hold up. Like, this my dog down here hurting. I know the rest of his season or whatever, you know what I mean? So we seen both sides and definitely understand both sides, but definitely praying for speedy recovery.
Speedy recovery, no doubt. No
David,
doubt.
Man. But yeah, man. See if we got any questions? Yeah. Some more Rams. And let's talk about the Super. They did win the Super Bowl. They did. This is one of your teams too. They did win the Super Bowl, or one of your quarterbacks, should I say? So some moves that the defending champs have made this offseason. They just extended Matt Stafford, I believe it's 4 years, 160, so 40 a year. Woo, quarterbacks bags.
Getting
I
this
think
money.
I think it's 6 quarterbacks now that's making 40 a year, at least 40 a year. Did that, went out and signed Adam Robinson, the free agent from the Chicago Bears, to a 3-year, around $45, $46 million deal. So he got paid. Still haven't re-signed OBJ. Not sure if that's going to happen. And then traded Robert Woods, who was, a staple in this offense. Obviously, he went down. They went and signed. They signed OBJ, and I think the same week they signed OBJ, yeah. Robert Woods went down. But traded him to the Titans. Got a lot of money off the book. Got a late round pick back. How you feel about the Rams going forward, man? You still think they're the team to beat in the NFC?
I mean, I still like them. Obviously, I hated to see Robert Woods go just because of just knowing what he meant to that team, to that offense. So I hated to see that. But you get another great receiver in Allen Robinson. So I think folks will be able to see what Allen Robinson can truly do. But I still like the Rams, man. You bring in some, another weapon. We're gonna see what OBJ does. But I still like them, man. Got to beat the champ.
Gotta beat the champs. Obviously, Brady came back. They're making some moves out there in Tampa. Brady trying to get Julio to come out there.
Yeah.
He got obviously Mike Evans coming back. Chris Godwin got a new deal. Like to see that coming off of a big time injury. They franchised him last year. He got injured on the franchise tag, which is players' worst nightmare. But the Bucs still took care of him. Gave him 3 years, $60 million. Mike Williams got the same deal out the Chargers, and so it was good to see that. So not the NFC took a step back. As far as which conference is better, but you got to win your division and win your conference. So
that's it. How you feel about this move, though?
Once Allen Robinson got signed, you knew somebody somebody had to go because obviously Cooper Kupp, still there. He's probably going to get paid again. They want to get AD back, Aaron Donald back in the building. It's been talks about his deal getting restructured, and it's also been talks about him retiring. And he basically told the team, hey, I want y'all to bring, X, Y, and Z back so we can run it back. But Von Miller, he went outside a quarterback deal in Buffalo. So OBJ will probably be out at least for the early part of the season next year. Mm-hmm. So I love the move. You make your quarterback happy, give Stafford some more money. You get him another weapon. Man, you got to replace that left tackle, obviously, with Whitworth being out.
Yep.
Von Miller being out. So it's definitely still some holes, but I think they got a good chance, especially with Devontae leaving the Packers.
Yeah.
You got some things that have happened out in Tampa. So, I mean, would I say they're the team to beat in the NFC right now? Who am I forgetting about?
In the NFC, you ain't forgetting about nobody. You got Tampa.
Bucks.
You got Tampa. You got the Bucks. You got the Rams.
Niners. Trey Lance, young.
Yeah, I don't know. I won't put the Niners up there. Then Green Bay, your top receiver's gone. So that's kind of iffy right there.
Mm-hmm. NFC South trash. Cardinals.
You got to see what the Seahawks going to do at that quarter. Yeah. So I don't see nobody else. Obviously, we got to wait and see what the Cowboys going to do.
I was about to say Cowboys potentially.
We say that every year. Like I don't even like saying that shit. Like
potentially get you fired.
Yeah. So I mean, we gonna see. Who might be a surprise.
Who that? AB said it here first, March 21st, 2022. Who gonna be the surprise of the NFC?
You know who might be a surprise? The Philadelphia Eagles.
Oh, they signed Fletcher Cox back.
Fletcher Cox. You went and get Hassan Reddick. You signed him. You got a pass rush.
Jalen Hurts another year.
I for some reason, Philadelphia Eagles, I don't know.
Hey, the NFC, it's kind of open for another team to jump up. They could be the Cardinals. Cardinals can figure it out. Maybe win some games late. We'll see what happens with the Kyler Murray saga. Eagles got picks too.
Hey, I'm
3 first round.
What's the day? March 21st.
March 21st. That dog mentality from Coach Sirianni.
Hey, I'm Philadelphia Eagles, man. Y'all be on the lookout for them this year.
What about Sam Darnold? You think Sam Darnold gonna have a bounce back year? And then Carolina.
Man, I don't know. I don't know about Sam Darnold. We gonna see. we gonna see about Sammy D.
And sticking in that division. So, like we said about the Deshaun Watson shit, pretty much every team in the NFC South was in it outside of the Bucs. So, I know we had a conversation about Baker. This was before he put in his trade request, which he'll be getting now. And I don't even want to talk about the potential of him going to Indy because that's looking like a thing. It's been a lot of smoke with that, man. But Matt Ryan is another potential quarterback that maybe want to move now. You know, they were all in on Deshaun Watson as well. They pushed his bonus back a few days. I think at 4:00 today, it'll be actually due. Right now with the Colts, Matt Ryan,
Matty Ice,
Baker Mayfield,
Matty
Jimmy
Ice.
G. That's who you want. That's who you go with, Matty Ice.
Yeah, yes, that's who I'm going with, Matty Ice. I'm not going Baker.
Why? Tell me why. GM AB. Why Matty Ice? You said it quick too. You didn't even let me finish naming the guys available. Jameis Winston.
I like Jameis as well. I think I like Jameis. Baker. So Jimmy G. I will go Matty Ice, then Jimmy
that's
G,
my
right?
pick.
Yeah, that's your pick. Jimmy G, I feel like is a lateral move. Again, Jimmy G has played some.
That's so disrespectful.
I don't think it's as disrespectful as you saying, but I think it's a lateral move
from Carson Wentz.
Yeah, I think
Commander Wentz.
Yeah, Jimmy G's played some good ball. But when it comes down to it, I just think that's a lateral move. I've said that a number of times. Matty Ice, played a lot of football. I think all of these moves are like right there in the same circle. We talked about it, like all the quarterbacks could come in and make a tremendous difference, or elsewhere. Deshaun, Russell, so whatever. But right now, I would have Matty Ice just from the eye test and just watching the game and how the game is played. I would have Matty Ice, and that's basically me as the GM. I'm going strictly off the film in my field. Baker, out of Philip, the type of system that I'm gonna run, I think JT would help him because he had the run game, but he had the run game.
I was about to say, too.
But as far as just playing the quarterback position, I like Matty Ice better.
Man, Matty Ice, I feel like we going right back down that Phillip Rivers.
Hey, and Phillip Rivers was way better than Carson Wentz and all of them.
We got to the playoffs, but you gotta have some like foresight with this quarterback shit. Like we gotta get a guy in here who at least take a real chance. I feel like that's why they went and got Carson Wentz. Like that was a guy that they felt like potentially Frank Reich could turn him around, and that could be the quarterback for the next 6-7 years. So even though I'm not a Baker fan, I would rather Baker over Matt Ryan just based off where they are in his career. I'm just saying we get Baker in there, and he actually is playing D. He was hurt last year. He plays better. Maybe you build around him, and he can be.
You shouldn't have your ass out of there.
He can be a quarterback for the next 5-6 years. Same with Jimmy G. Jimmy G can get in there. I think he's the best option right now for us, and potentially can be the guy for the next 4, 5, 6, 7 years that you build around and win. But you look at these quarterbacks in the AFC, man, it's like 7, 8, like real dudes. So, but I go Jimmy G will be option one. Baker Mayfield. I can't believe that just came out my mouth. Baker Reagan Mayfield, option two. I think Matt Ryan would be my third option. But I mean, Matt Ryan, man, he's up there, bro. He's been around for a long time.
Yeah, he has. Playing the quarterback position, that's who I would want.
This year 6, we going with a new starter. So we go Matt Ryan. The best we get is 2 years out of him. Hey. And then we looking for another guy. So yeah, those are my guys. And obviously Andrew Luck is still on my list. At least for one more year. I'm gonna hold on to hope for one I'm gonna give it one more mango season.
Man, but hey, while we on this topic, like what are we doing? As far as the Colts, you know, we made the one move.
Let me tell you what we're doing. Zach Kiefer's tweet: 1 week into free agency, we traded for Yannick and Ndakwe. We re-signed Mo Alley Cox, re-signed Zaire Franklin, shout out to Z, man-to-man alum. Yep. Re-signed Taquan Lewis, re-signed Matt Pryor, signed Brandon Faison, good young corner. Came over, followed Gus Bradley from Vegas, from the Vegas Raiders. We traded Rocky Sin to the Raiders, part of that Yannick trade. We lost Mark Lewinsky to the Giants, lost George Odom, who was a reserve safety for us and a Pro Bowl caliber special teamer. Lost him to the San Francisco 49ers. And then Muhammad lost him to Chicago. So we ain't done much shit, pretty much, to pretty much answer your question. We ain't done much shit. And as you know, if you don't address that quarterback situation, you know, it's not many receivers out there in free agency, but guys ain't gonna be knocking at the door to try to sign up for that. Even as a free agent in general, I'm sure you hit free agency, you know, year 10, year 11 or whatever. You don't really want to go to a team that don't have stability at that quarterback position.
Yeah.
And a good player at that quarterback position, which we don't right now. That's why I wasn't a fan of the Carson move without an immediate resolution at the quarterback position. So man, it's you know, Irsay obviously said he was all in. He said it. You know, you moved on from Carson. Jacksonville has made a bunch of moves. Dolphins have made some good moves. We talked about the Bengals, Rams.
I mean, even Raiders. You look at Tennessee. You know what I mean? Like maybe not a whole bunch of splash moves, but you know, making some moves. It's still about we trust, man.
We're going backwards, in my opinion. We're going backwards right now. What we always say in sports,
hey,
if you ain't getting better,
getting worse.
I feel like we get worse right now. With a whole bunch of money, a whole bunch of money in my pocket. Ain't got no monthly draws.
I believe in the scouting department, man. They got their eyes on some people, man. They doing their due diligence as far as draft. I think we working on some things behind the scene. You know, we're gonna make some real critical moves.
We about to sign Gardner Minshew.
And Gardner will come out and ball.
Man.
He said he want Baker in the building.
Man. Let's see. We got any what questions we got? See any good questions in here? Let's get some questions before we get up out of here.
Nah, I ain't really seen no one question, G.I. Joe. You know, G.I. Joe, he gonna come up with some G.I. Joe got a good one. Brad got one. Brad Richardson had a question about Cap. Thoughts on Cap coming back in the league.
Rob Tunyon re-signed 1 year with the Packers as well, coming off that injury. Tight end. Let me see what question you're talking about. I don't see it.
Brad Richardson is right there. Thoughts on Colin Kaepernick coming back to right on the ice X.
Oh, okay.
There you go. You see it?
Brad Richardson. Thoughts on Colin Kaepernick coming back to the league. Talent-wise, we know he deserves a shot. He has deserved a shot for years now. He said he's been staying in shape. I know he's been going live and posting videos, throwing the ball with some players. Tyler Lockett, receiver for the Seahawks, been one of them. I hope he definitely hopes he gets a shot. Realistically, do I think he'll get one? No, I don't. Realistically, that's just my realistic thought. But he's doing what he's supposed to be doing if he wants to play, and that's throwing the ball and letting teams see him throw the ball. Obviously, it's a league right now where a whole lot of teams could use quarterback starters and backups. And we know he has the ability, but obviously it's more than football that goes into these decisions. And based on the history of it, I don't expect it to happen. I'll be shocked if it does, and I hope I'm wrong. But
yeah, I'm with you. I definitely think he could easily make a roster right now. But I just don't think a team will make that move. Unfortunately, like you said, like I hope I'm wrong, but I just don't. I don't see that happening.
Yeah. Kevin Kernan, how many millions would Shad Khan have to offer you for you guys to play in Clowntown, Jacksonville?
Shit, the way I know I can go in there and play a good dime package. You throw me,
man. Right now, going to next year, it looked like the Jaguars are, they setting up going forward in the future better than us right now.
Yeah, throw me. We talk between 5 to 7. You got me. Sure.
Yeah, that's a
dime
fact.
package 5 to 7.
5.5 be good. Me in Florida.
No state. Yeah, give me that. Good weather too.
Did you see somebody who didn't want to take advantage of that old Urban Meyer? It was some more reports.
Well, what happened? I missed that one.
The more reports that came out today. I think DJ Chark, somebody was on record, and the Athletic put out an article, just more, documents what was going on behind the scenes as far as him berating players and coaches, threatening fire, assistant coaches, not knowing players around the league and shit, talking about the Rams, and like he telling coaches, hey man, this I don't know who this 99 is, but he might be a problem for us.
Man, he messing with y'all, man.
According to the reports, I call the Urban shit from a mile away. It blows my mind because we remember this, like it was teams lining up for the services of Urban Meyer, and he got a bag. And I mean, come on, we gotta know how to do some due diligence.
Yeah.
Come on, man. But yeah, that was so funny.
I don't believe that.
99 might be a problem for us, man. Who the hell is this guy?
I don't believe that.
Yeah, you know what Debo Samuel was?
I don't believe none of that. I don't believe none of that. Nah.
Man, he was in college coach, man. He was locked in.
Nah. I don't believe that. Hey, we had a question from SJM. It's kind of, you got to scroll up a little bit, but he asks, when you guys deciding where to go in free agency, which weighs more, the opportunity to play, winning, or getting paid?
Well, the playing and getting paid, that's pretty much on the same page, because based off how much they're paying you, they let you know kind of what your role is going to be. But yeah, I mean, you want to win and you want to get paid. So if you're going to, and everybody's situation is different too.
Yeah.
Like literally, sometimes it's where you're going to be living, located. Where's your family? What's your situation at home? You got new kids. You got kids going to high school. Like maybe you don't want to move. You'll give a hometown discount because of those reasons. So it's a lot of different things that go into it. But obviously, like we talked about earlier, you want to maximize your earnings while you're in this league. So you definitely want to get paid. And you want to get compensated fairly. You look around the league, you see other players at your position. You're either better than or right on par with them. The money should say so as well. So it's a lot of factors that go into it, but obviously getting paid and winning. But like I said, it's different. Some people may just go to whoever because they hiring the most money, and they good with that. So definitely depends.
Yeah.
What say you, AB?
Nah, I mean, I think it's a lot of factors that factor into it. Where you at in your career? You could have gotten a lot of money early on in your career, and you just like, look, I just want to win. I want to go get me a ring, and that could be it. Some could just like D-Buck said, look, who's paying the most? Who got the most money available, and I'm just going to get paid. So I think it just depends on the player. Um, obviously what you said as far as like, okay, where am I going? I'm going out west. Do I want to go all the way out there? Do I want to move my family um across across the across the world or across the states? So a lot of different factors.
Yeah. Ultimately, ideally, you want to get a nice bidding war.
That's it.
Or, you know what I mean? You want to have some leverage, but you want to get compensated and go to a great situation. But yeah, man, that's pretty much it. I did see Urban too. Urban is on board now, dealing with the NILs at Ohio State, so he wasn't out of a job for long.
Hey, Herb, he gonna. Hey, one thing about Herb, he gonna have a job. Hey,
whenever he want one.
Hey, Herb is tapped in. Y'all can say what y'all want to say, but Herb tapped in. Like, y'all can say what y'all want. Like
relationships.
Man, yeah, that's what it's about. That's what
relationships. It's about. Let me see. One more thing. Actually, you know what? We got a dope interview coming up on Wednesday. Have fun with this interview, man. Anything else you want to talk about before we get up out of here?
Nah, man. I'm good, man. Talk about this interview. We had like you said, it was a real good one.
Yep. So we got Joy Taylor coming up on Wednesday. I think we went for a little longer than an hour. Talked about everything under the sun, sports, her path, her journey. As we've said a few times before, we're going to bring people from different aspects of the sports world, whether it be media, writers, trainers, everything in between. So I feel like Joy was a dope interview. I'm going to give y'all a little snippet. It'll go live Wednesday, 11 o'clock, as every week. And then after this, we're going to get up out of here.
I mean, I'm a big anarchy person. The more going on, the better. I mean, we're in the content business. So Justin Herbert and then Derek Carr. And I like Derek Carr. So I'm really splitting hairs with Justin Herbert and Derek Carr. So I'm actually much higher on Mitch Trubisky than everybody else is. Like, what are we doing? Either he plays or he doesn't. And then to do all that, you don't even make the playoffs. Like, what's the point? What was the point? What was the reason? One, despite the fact that I do sacrifice a troll every now and then, I'm not reading my mentions all day. I'm actually living my life and doing stuff. It's important to me to not leave the world the same way I came in. However, I can do that. And I'm blessed to have a big platform. Yep. And I try to use that to help amplify others. And
there you have it, man. Once again, great. Anyway, see you smile. You must see a comment. What you see, man, before we get up out of here?
Nah, I was laughing at your facial expression when she had when she was ranking when I asked about the quarterbacks in the AFC West.
Disrespecting JJ like that, man.
Yeah.
That shit crazy. But oh yeah, man. All right. Appreciate y'all, man.
Yeah.
Wednesday, tap in, 11 o'clock, and then we'll be live again on Thursday. We'll see where that falls with the March Madness schedule. But appreciate y'all as always.
Yes, sir.
Out of here.
Peace.
Safe travels, bro.
Appreciate you.
Yes, sir. All right, here you go.
All right.